Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at closed beta and trial subscription games, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at Warframe, a 3D cooperative shooter combining gunplay, melee combat, and even a bit of platforming elements to create an intense action experience. Warframe takes place in a future version of our solar system, where you control a surviving assassin from a great war, looking to take back the solar system from an invading force, by using the secrets, powers, and training of the Warframe armor. So, ninjas in space with guns. Sold yet? Let's start. This is a pretty slick and cool looking game. Graphics can be a bit intense, but I'm running them on medium by default. The game also seems predisposed to being in a widescreen format, as the UI seems almost squashed when you move to a square format. There's also a mildly annoying issue of the camera, as despite the first-person controls, your view is in third person above the shoulder, and occasionally aim mode will cause your character's head to get in the way of your view, making precise shots difficult when pinned up against a wall. The only other quirk I see to these is the game seems to get rather dark at times, and it's tricky to immediately identify friend or foe. The main aesthetic to the game is a very East Asian tone in addition to the futuristic setting, although it's not as much apparent in the graphics as it is in the music. The music is heavily Asian-inspired, using a lot of instruments, especially drums, to intensify the action, yet blending it with very space-sounding tones. Tough to explain, but all very fitting of the gameplay as well, even if most of what you'll hear is gunplay and sword slashes, along with a bit of voice clips from the enemies or the voice that guides your character through the levels. Gunfire is loud and pronounced as well, and using powers and blade attacks carry a lot of weight behind them, sounding all the more realistic than they do sci-fi. Warframe is also a very, very loud game by default, so go looking to dropping the sound a bit when you start out. The game controls like a first-person shooter, but with a non-adjustable third-person perspective. You'll find your Warframe is extremely lithe, able to dodge attacks by tapping shift, holding it to run, doing a slide move by holding that and control to crouch. Pressing shift and jump near a wall will even let you run up it and flip off of them, giving way to some tricky but often unseen platforming in this kind of perspective. Combine those with the simple swordplay of either pressing or holding E, being able to shoot at any time with left click, and you'll have a very maneuverable character. Pity the enemy AI isn't entirely forgiving. As those who watched my stream might have felt that the enemies seemed like pushovers, I can easily verify that you will be overwhelmed and flanked within seconds if you charge into a full room alone. Your ninja skills will definitely be put to the test, as your ammo is limited, and you'll need to be able to use the right tool for the job at hand. The game features, for lack of a better term, a dungeon crawler style of gameplay, where each map represents a scenario, be it destroying a target, reaching a destination, or eliminating all the enemies on a map, before you can head back to the extraction point to complete the level, and get your rewards tallied. Each map is randomly generated, so while the mission and setting itself will remain the same, the layout of the level will be completely different as far as enemy placement, doors, and treasures will be located. Enemy patrols may even randomly spawn to hunt you down, or the area may go on lockdown, forcing you to retrieve a key or find a console to hack your way through and be able to continue on. In a way, it's a little bit like Left 4 Dead. It also lends itself much better to multiplayer, which is on by default, automatically grouping you with others as you play. There's the ability to privatize a match for friends, and you can even go solo, but I seriously don't recommend it, and it's deceptively difficult to do that. You don't level up your character as much as their individual equipment. Use a gun more often and that gun will receive the most XP. When a gun levels up, you can head to your arsenal screen on the main menu to add points to your weapons in a skill tree, allowing you to add things like greater damage, higher rate of fire, more health, or even unlock mod slots, which grant you the ability to add weapon or Warframe mods that you'll find scattered in the maps as lootable items. Grouping is simple enough, but it seems pretty hit and miss as of right now. Nobody talks in the game, and I have yet to see anyone say a single word. And the one time I did type something in the chat, it went completely unanswered. I feel I might have given them all heart attacks or something. However, oddly enough, chat doesn't seem all too important to your overall goal, as following the points on your map is just a pretty sound strategy. It just depends if you get a group with a bunch of well-coordinated team players, or a squad of Leroy Jenkins clones who scatter themselves 4 ways to the wind and wonder why they keep getting killed off until they quit the map. The cash shop seems pretty standard, and most of it allows for the purchase of items with in-game currency as well as paid points. There are many Warframes to choose from beyond the 3 that you're permitted to choose at the start, and they seem to offer interesting playstyles. I just prefer to try one out in some manner before being forced to purchase one. You may also purchase differing weapons and cosmetic changes this way. Overall, Warframe caught me by surprise, as I had no idea what it was all about when I started it up. Its marketing is pretty hush-hush so far, and I was pleasantly surprised by the stylish action that the title offered, and it's nice to see a more co-op-focused shooter on the free-to-play market. I'm certain I'll be sticking with this one, and I can't wait to see what more can be improved. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.